Hi, welcome back. My name is Emmy and I am a professional hairstylist, a coffee lover, and a beauty enthusiast, and I got married. I am a professional makeup artist, therefore I did my own makeup, and I'm gonna share my wedding makeup with you today. We're gonna do it. We're gonna show you all the products. We're gonna show you all the steps. Let's do my makeup. Here's the bag my makeup is in for my wedding. My sister-in-law had these made for us. Very cute. My sister-in-law was an invaluable part of our wedding weekend. Oh my gosh. More on like wedding weekend details in another video. All right, I'm just gonna take everything out of the bag. Be right back. So this is not how I wore my hair for my wedding. This isn't what I wore for my wedding. This is just what I'm wearing today. And I put on Instagram for you guys to vote whether or not you wanted me to just talk through what I used and how I used it, or to show you and demo it. And it was a tight race. It was a tight race on that poll, but y'all voted to see me do it. So that's what we're doing. My goal with my wedding makeup was to be comfortable, like glow from within, but not wet dew, very natural skin, and bronze was the goal. So I prepped my skin with my Black Girl Sunscreen Moisturizer. I did do a sheet mask on my day of. I did a Tatcha sheet mask because I just felt like being bougie. So I was very, very glowy with the base. I did an extra little layer of oil underneath my sunscreen today. And so this is where we are at. It's also a little warm today, so we're battling a little bit of sweat. And I prepped my skin with the Milk Makeup Hydro Grip. I'm probably not going to repurchase this because I pretty much just used it for my wedding. I've used it a couple other times. I don't know. Maybe I would repurchase that little size, but I feel like this did make my makeup last longer for sure. I did wear a mask for a part of my reception. And I did dance in a mask on the dance floor. So I feel like the makeup held up really well. And we actually took our like, you know, artsy photos after dancing on the dance floor with that mask on. So I think those pictures turned out good. I actually don't have them yet, but at the time of filming, with this primer, I don't always use primers. Actually, I rarely use primers, but this one you do have to really rub it in. And a friend of mine is getting married in a couple months, and we're using the same primer on her. And on her trial, we didn't rub it in well enough, and we also didn't use enough. So you definitely have to like use a good amount and really get it in there. Okay, then I under highlighted and contoured with my Auric Glow Lust and my Danessa Myricks in Nutcracker. If you've never heard of under highlighting and under contouring, it's exactly how it sounds. It's where you put highlighter and contour on underneath foundation. So if I was doing that contour on top of foundation, it would feel like a bit much. But I'm not having to edit myself super hard because I'm doing an under contour, and I'm gonna put foundation over that and then add a little bit more on top. And I'm not using a full coverage foundation. And I actually changed my foundation last minute for my wedding makeup, which was like a big deal. It's a real big deal. So I'm gonna put on an initial layer of foundation. Foundation, I used the Fenty Ease Drops, which I got maybe 2 or 3 weeks before my wedding. and just totally fell in love with it. My plan before this foundation was the Exa foundation, which is beautiful and I love it, but it's very glowy. And I had to powder quite a bit to kind of get it to the natural finish I was looking for. Where with this foundation, if I prep my skin really, really well, I hardly have to powder at all to get to the finish I was hoping for. So one light layer of this, and then I'll move on to eyes. One layer of the Venti Ease Drops with an under contour and an under highlight and a very glowy base. Eyes, I primed with my Milani eyeshadow primer, which is great. And then I powder this as well with a translucent powder. The translucent powder I used is the Hourglass Veil powder. Yeah. Not the biggest fan of Hourglass at the moment and their whole deal, but this is what I had in my stash. And it is a good powder. And I don't powder on a daily basis, so I didn't want to buy a powder just for my wedding that I would never use again. So this is something I had and I'm actively kind of trying to use up. Okay, setting that primer. Boom. We are going to powder the face a little bit, but not right now. Eyeshadow, what everyone is here for, right? I don't know, maybe it's not. Maybe you're here for the cheek. Maybe you're here for the lip. I don't know. I use my Juvia's Place Warrior 2 palette, and I started with this shade very lightly in the crease with a very fluffy, not at all tapered brush. Now with a fluffy but more tapered brush, I am taking this shade very lightly to kind of deepen the crease a bit. Awesome. There's my crease. Pretty simple, pretty simple. Then I took my Auric eyeshadow and I'm taking the cream base and putting this on the lid. And because I wanted to be quite controlled with this, I took it on a brush. It's so pretty. Oh. It's bronzy, a little deep, not too deep. I love it so much. I mean, I love this whole makeup so much. It's my wedding makeup. It's like all the things I love. Where I got ready for my wedding, we were in like the master bedroom kind of suite, and it had a window it had like a window in between mirrors, and I just had this mirror with me, and it was like the lighting was so perfect for doing makeup. I don't have a place like that in my home that is so well lit for doing makeup. So I got to see exactly what I was doing, and it was perfect. There weren't any shadows or anything messing with me. It was awesome. Okay. Now I'm going to deepen the lash line a bit with this shade, which is just like a very true gray color. I didn't do any winged liner or anything like that, just a very smudgy line. And I'm going to do a black waterline on the upper and a brown waterline on the lower. So I just wanted that gray smudge on the outer, and I will do it on the lower, but later. I'm gonna add waterline and be right back. Something else I'm doing is I'm taking my brown pencil on this brush and tightlining the inner corner. So this already has it, this doesn't, and you can see the difference. It makes a huge difference. It just really connects the lash line all the way in and kind of gives you something to look like up from, you know, in pictures and stuff. It's something I've done on clients professionally for forever. More shimmer on the eyes. It's time. All right. For the center of the lid, I have this Kaja stack. It's in the shade Toasted Caramel, and the middle shade is what I used. So I'm taking that on my finger, and that's going on the center of the lid. And then with a clean finger, patting on the edges. It's beautiful. And on the inner corner, I'm taking the topper on the Auric stack. I tried a couple different toppers. I found this one to be kind of the most neutral. Again, I am a professional hair and makeup person, and I've been doing makeup for weddings for like 10 years. Most of the time, because I keep such a small edited kit, I just use whatever face highlight as their inner corner highlight. I am using a cream highlight on myself. So to use that on the inner corner wasn't totally gonna work. So wetting my brush and picking up some of this just catches beautiful light. This product is best used with a finger, but to get it right targeted in the inner corner where I want it, using a finger is tricky. So wetting a brush like this and then just really digging into the product. You're probably gonna hard pan it doing that, but you know, sacrifices for wedding makeup were made. It's okay. That's pretty much it for the upper eyeshadow. Ooh, we're 20 minutes in. This is gonna be a long video, y'all. All right, sorry. Next step is concealer. I like to conceal before I like smoke out my lower lash line and before I do my mascara. So I can then kind of set my face before moving on to like blush and more bronzer and more contour, etc. Are we surprised that I'm using the Rare Beauty concealer? No, because I pretty much use it as a foundation from day to day. It's my favorite. And I don't know if you can see, the skin has kind of settled down to a more natural, luminous finish. Not, I guess that's satin. I guess that's like a satin finish, but it's not dewy. And it's certainly not tacky. It's very touchable. That's it for concealer. Let's smoke out the lower lash line a bit. I'm taking the lightest shade we started with along just the whole bottom lash, like, you know, not lash line, under eye, you know, right there where you see me putting makeup. Oh my gosh. I also decided not to use my Pro Kit brushes, but to just use my personal brushes for my wedding makeup. And I'm glad I did. It just felt way more comfortable. Now I'm taking the same little brush I used for the gray color, and I'm putting that on the outer corner and kind of connecting it with the top. This is where things come alive and get smudgy and smoky and pretty. And then I took it a little too far. Gotta calm it down, gotta calm it down. Okay, gonna do brows real quick. I pretty much just did my NYX brow glue and my Aveda eye pencil and brow pencil, sorry, and fluffed them up and made sure they were dark enough. Gonna do that real quick. Ta-da! I'm gonna do some setting spray and then mascara. I used 2 different setting sprays for my wedding makeup. I have the Urban Decay All Nighter in a travel size because I'm probably gonna use this ever again. And then I have my Milani Make It Last, which is very like melts everything in, doesn't mattify or anything like that. So I'm at this stage gonna do the All Nighter and then bounce it in with my sponge. There's 2 lids on that setting spray. I feel like it's a cautionary sign, you know? And at this point, I assess to see if I need any more foundation or anything. I don't. I'm feeling pretty good with the coverage. And my skin is actually doing a little bit better today than it was on my wedding day, which was fine. I still felt beautiful and wonderful and magical and all those things that you're supposed to feel when you get married. And yeah. Mascara. I used waterproof mascara, obviously. I did the Maybelline Full and Soft in Blackest Black and waterproof. This is such a go-to mascara for me, and I can never go too hard with it. It's something I always come back to. I didn't wear false lashes because I have a lash lift on, so they're nice and curled. Same thing kind of goes for my brows. I have brow lamination right now. And I still did a brow glue and stuff, you know, just to really make sure everything stayed in place. Mascara. Brings it all together, brings it home. Okay, I'm gonna put on my lip plumper at this point and then move on to cheeks and let this work and kind of sink in and settle in. Okay, I'm gonna do another very light layer of the Danessa Myricks and Nutcracker, but this time I'm gonna put it on the back of my hand. And just take what I need. I'm gonna use the brush I used for my concealer. And just a little bit add more. Just reinforcing that shape a little bit. Blush. Okay, blush. I used 2 blushes. I used the Cover FX Monochromatic Blush Duo in the shade Soft Peach, and I used the matte. I didn't even touch this for my makeup look. So this I kind of just put all over on the cheek. Again, I wanted kind of, you know, very skin-like, not just like a controlled glow and then a like inner luminosity to the look. So now I'm gonna use, you know, a highlighter and another glowy blush and powder to kind of control the glow. Also today I'm totally sweating, so there's that. I didn't do any blush on my nose for my wedding. I know. I just felt like if I did that, it was like begging for the mask to rub it off, and then it'd be super noticeable that I did that. So left the blush off my nose. Second blush, the Dior, what is this called? Dior Backstage Rosy Glow in the shade Coral. This definitely has a little bit of glow, and it's one of those like kind of pH balancing, you know, whatever that Dior likes to do. This I'm taking on a more pointed, and I'm keeping it right here, right in the center. Not too low on the cheek and not too far onto the apple, just right there. Kind of buffing some product off and then blending wider into the matte blush. Can you see? Can you see? Oh, I loved I just really love how this blush turned out. It's almost like draping, but with rather than like a darker blush, like a brighter blush almost. It's so pretty. Because I wanted to be quite blushy, but not like a stripe. I wanted it to be this soft definition to it. And I think it worked out. I'm just saying. Okay. You gonna stay in there? There you go. Stay. Now I'm gonna powder the face, which is super boring. And then I'm gonna go in and add highlight. I tap a lot of the powder off, y'all, because I just want enough, and I just want it in the center. I just want it right in here. And depending on how powdery I feel, it's not even how it looks, it's how I feel. If it feels powdery on my skin and like my skin is like, you know, then I'll use my Milani setting spray because that kind of calms that feeling down. But if it feels fine, I'm not gonna use another setting spray. But it really, yeah, it's not, for me, makeup, most of the time, makeup is not about how it looks, but how it feels. Then highlight. And I used another kind of last edition. I used my Violette Balm Shine. I think in my original plan, I took more of the Auric and did this, you know, did a highlight, but as soon as this came into my possession, I mean, it just had to be, it had to be this. There was no other option. I like to really highlight this little hollow in my face. I think it's very pretty. Highlight? No highlight. Still glowy, but just not like, you know. Yeah. I also took highlight to my brow bone. Right on the bridge of the nose. Boom. Highlight. I just love everything about this makeup look. I can't even handle it. Okay. All right, lip plumper's doing its thing. It's bringing a little bit of color. It's kind of sunk in a little bit. It's not like oily on my lips. And I feel like I don't need a setting spray at this time, so I'm not gonna setting spray again. Honestly, can't remember if I did or didn't on my wedding day. I don't remember. So we're gonna finish with lip, and my lip product was very special. And this is something I've told clients to do for years, is get like a special wedding lipstick, and then you'll have it forever. And I am like a total lipstick person. So for some people, this isn't what they do. But for me, I had to get a really special lipstick. So this is a YSL something Slim Glow Matte in the shade 207. And it's kind of like long wearing, a little bit matte, and the glow part of it isn't from like the texture, it's from like a shimmer that's kind of in the product, which I thought was beautiful. But I wanted something easy that I could just slip on, you know, throughout my reception without thinking about it. And this was so perfect in everything I wanted it to be. And I'm gonna wear the crap out of this for forever, because it's also just a really beautiful color. It doesn't look much different than the color the plumper gave my lips, but this is gonna stay and the plumper's gonna fade, so. Yep. That's the stuff. Oh my God, it was such a fun lipstick to wear on my wedding day. I just loved wearing this so much. And now every time I wear it, I get to think of my wonderful wedding day and all of my favorite people being around me and Tyler and celebrating, and me and Tyler just, you know, having a great day together, having my best friend be our photographer, having delicious, delicious food and drink all day, and beautiful flowers, and just, it was just a beautiful, wonderful day. And that lipstick always is gonna forever make me think of it. That is it for my wedding recreation makeup video. Yes. And thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed, let me know. I will have all these products listed in the description box, and this is just what worked for me and my wedding day. That's it. Have a great day. Thank you for watching. Bye.